In this video, we will introduce the Case or Controversy Clause of the United States Constitution. Article 3 of the Constitution establishes that the federal courts can hear certain types of cases or controversies. For example, where the case arises under the Constitution, or where the controversy is between certain parties, such as where the United States government is a party or where the lawsuit is between citizens of different states. The Supreme Court interprets Article 3 to limit federal jurisdiction to actual cases and controversies. And this means generally that the case should arise under a federal law or the Constitution, or the lawsuit should be a controversy between certain parties, such as citizens of different states. Also, the plaintiff must allege she suffered an injury caused by defendant that the court can remedy, and if these conditions are satisfied, plaintiff should have what courts would call Article 3 standing. And you can think of this actual case or controversy requirement as the ticket to get into federal court. If the litigation does not fit the definition of an actual case or controversy, federal courts will decline to hear the lawsuit. So, for example, let's say we have David from New York and Patty from California, and Patty believes that David breached their contract and that as a result, she suffered $100,000 in damages. This then would be an actual case or controversy between Patty and David, who are citizens of different states. Patty can allege she suffered an injury caused by David that the court can remedy. As a result, Patty should have Article 3 standing to sue David in federal court. And the federal court will almost certainly hear her case against David. But let's change the circumstances and we'll say Patty is concerned that David might do something in the future that might breach the contract, and she wants to start a lawsuit to ask the federal court's thoughts about this hypothetical situation. She's probably not going to have standing to bring the case because federal courts don't give advisory opinions. That's not an actual case or controversy because Patty has not suffered any damage, and there is no injury for the court to remedy. Likewise, imagine now Patty and David are outside, and Officer Awful attacks David, injures David, all in violation of David's constitutional rights. And in light of this injustice, Patty wants to sue Officer Awful for the constitutional violation. That probably won't work because there is no case or controversy between Patty and Officer Awful, because she did not suffer an actual injury to herself that was caused by Officer Awful. As a result, a federal court is probably not going to hear Patty's case because she lacks Article 3 standing. There is no case or controversy between herself and the officer. To summarize, the Case or Controversy Clause is part of Article 3 of the Constitution, which defines the powers of the federal courts. Federal courts can only hear cases in which there is an actual case or controversy. Among other things, this means that federal courts cannot give advisory opinions, and usually they cannot hear cases in which plaintiff fails to allege an injury to herself caused by defendant that the court can remedy.